From a patient who ended his life due to depression, even after achieving significant weight loss,
I can't thank you enough for giving me the tools I needed. So my whole outlook's changed. I know for sure I never want to be the person I used to be when it comes to food or alcohol again.
To another who is still consumed by past trauma, even after overcoming her obesity.
And ever since I lost him, there's been this emptiness and depression in me that's never gone away. I know I've used food to try to deal with that. I just miss him so much.
Here's every beloved My 600-Pound Life patient who tragically passed away. Starting with James L.B. Bonner from Season 6, who was weighing over 642 pounds and had already seen his life become hell as he couldn't even manage day-to-day tasks properly because of his weight and not having a leg.
Those two factors combined make getting around almost impossible. Right now, the prosthetic leg I use is barely able to hold my weight. And every morning I have to fight to put a liner on over my stump.
This imbalance in his body was actually causing him many problems, including back pain, joint pain, and much more.
Pretty much impossible to ignore the pain and the aching and just the overall bad feeling because my knees, my back's me. So my weight, it's keeping me from having a life.
All these struggles eventually left him wondering if there was even a glimmer of hope left, pushing him to take one final chance by entering Dr. Now's program. After understanding his situation, Dr. Now finally put him on a strict diet to see how he could cope.
I'm going to put you on a low-carb, high-protein diet that is 1,200 calories a day. If you stick to the diet, then you should have no problem hitting a weight loss goal of 50 pounds over the next month.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to stop drinking because alcohol is no longer on the list if you want weight loss surgery, okay? So you need to make that change now.
Right.
And I know it's hard with your prosthetic having issues with your weight, but you need to work to get your activity up.
Right.
Okay?
The situation left no room for doubt. He had to lose the weight that caused all the problems in his life. And just like that, LB began taking things seriously. And in a few days, the date of his surgery arrived, giving him another chance to live his life. Even though his progress was slow, after the surgery, his life improved significantly as he could perform many tasks by himself without depending on anyone.
It's not something that's derailed me because weight's still coming off and I'm still getting more and more active every day. And I've been riding an old bike I got because it's easier on my leg and it helps me get my heart rate up. But what I'd really love to do is start running again.
While dropping from 642 to 380 pounds, which made both him and Dr. Now proud.
Today I'm going to see where my progress is at and if I hit my weight loss goals to get me below 392. I'm happy with that. I knew I was doing well, but that's a little better than I thought. I'm guessing the doc's going to be happy with that.
Fantastic. I'm proud of you.
Well, I can't thank you enough for giving me the tools I needed. So my whole outlook's changed. I know for sure I never want to be the person I used to be when it comes to food or alcohol again. I never want to fall back into that.
Well, keep up the good work because you're doing great.
I will.
All right. See you later.
Thank you.
His success story set a clear example that things can turn around at any time and ultimately made him the fan-favorite patient of the entire My 600-Pound Life series until it all came crashing down. Because surviving morbid obesity didn't solve all of his problems, and as days went on, he found himself facing more challenges, including depression from not having a leg and feeling like a burden to his family.
But even then, I don't really want to face anyone because I just feel like such a huge disappointment, letdown, and I feel like my parents completely regret the day that they signed adoption papers on me.
These struggles weighed heavily on him, and as a result, on August 2, 2018, he was found in his home. The reason for his was ruled as from a self-inflicted to the head. His sudden death left a scar on everyone who was rooting for his life, with one saying, I thought he was finding himself and learning self-love. R.I.P. LB. After all he did and all the hard work, he still wasn't happy with himself and he ended it. Despite making a strong comeback, James couldn't escape his tragic fate, just like this next person from the same season who pushed herself to the limit, only for her efforts to end in vain. Weighing over 632 pounds, Renee Baran's life already felt out of her hands, as she was completely dependent on her daughter for everything.
And if it weren't for the help from my daughter Monique, I don't know how I would survive. Mo. My kids do basically everything for me. Thank you.
But Renee's dependence on her daughter and her immobility frustrated her, as she couldn't even get out of bed and desperately wanted a change in life.
Hey, Mama. Hey, baby.
What's this, Mama?
I'm looking. It's hard to see my grandkids outside. I wish I could join them. I can't do anything. I can't go nowhere.
After realizing the severity of her condition, she turned to Dr. Now for a solution. But even after losing some weight during her time at the hospital, Renee began reverting to her old habit of overeating as soon as she got home. However, despite falling back on her diet briefly, she still pushed herself up, and in just 9 months, Renee made a remarkable comeback by losing 189 pounds.
And my weight loss goal for the past month was 30 pounds. So I need to be below 441 today. It's just 1 pound away. But I'm so worried now what the doctors are going to say. And I just hope it's going to be enough. I'm so close, and I work so hard.
With that, Renee received approval for surgery to remove the excess weight from her body and start living a healthier, happier life. And as expected, this didn't go unnoticed by the viewers who appreciated her hard work. However, unfortunately, the progress she had made so far and the surgery didn't seem to solve her emotional issues, as they were constantly haunting her, which even concerned Dr. Now, as he feared they could lead her to regaining weight if not addressed.
But Renee has a very long road ahead of her. She has a lot of emotional issues that she's going to need to work with psychotherapy to deal with, or they will start to come to the surface and slowly lead her back to overeating if she doesn't.
Despite all of this, her progress continued, and within months, she had reduced an additional 228 pounds, shocking even Dr. Now.
You're making good progress, and I'm proud of you for that. So keep it up, and in a few months, we can start to discuss skin removal. Okay? Sound good?
That sounds wonderful.
So I'm very happy to see your kids with you to help you and giving you the support you need. When you first arrived, you were in one of the worst shape I have ever seen. And now your heart, your lungs, and even your kidneys are functioning a lot better.
I feel great.
Her transformation was a valuable lesson for everyone struggling with life, making her one of the most popular patients on the show, as people couldn't stop expressing their admiration, saying, "I really like her and her determination and positivity." But even after overcoming morbid obesity and returning to a normal life, things didn't get easy for her, as she developed a rare autoimmune disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome, which was believed to have ultimately cost her life as she passed away in 2021, leaving everyone sad. While Renee died from an autoimmune disease, Kelly's case was different, as the cause of her was clear, leaving viewers heartbroken. Appearing first in season 7, she weighed over 700 pounds and could not perform even simple movements properly.
I dread waking up because my life is a nightmare. And I feel trapped in his body. And every day is painful. Every day is a bad day. And walking is extremely difficult. Every step is torture. I can only stand at 3 to 5 minutes because it's like you feel the weight
What made her life even worse was that she had to live by herself with nobody to take care of her daily needs.
I lived by myself, and my dad was the only person that will come check on me. I shower and I clean myself, but I'd have a problem with getting every part of my body.
The misery in her life also caught the attention of the audience, as they felt bad for her, saying, "I pray she gets the help that she needs." But this worst stage for her obesity deeply worried her family.
I really don't know what brought the weight on. I don't know. But it seemed like it just kept going and growing and growing. But I would try to make her eat right when she with me. When she went home back with her mom, I don't know when she go back home.
After realizing the situation was getting worse, she and her father finally decided to go to the doctor to see if there was even a little hope remaining for Kelly. But her case was so serious that even Dr. Now was shocked, saying she had the highest weight he had ever seen in a patient's history, and her list of other diseases made things far worse, leading the doctor to indicate one thing: danger was near.
I can see from your chart you have developed a number of serious issues already.
Yeah.
You have diabetes, high blood pressure, blood clot in the leg, pulmonary embolism, and reflux, thyroid problem, arthritis, and the list goes on. And it also says you were in the hospital recently.
Yes.
So what happened then?
I had congestive heart failure, so I was having really bad short of breath and swelling.
So that congestive heart failure is a very dangerous situation, and you have to start to lose weight immediately.
But when Dr. Now told her to control her eating habits, Kelly promised she would and was given a list of tasks to help her lose weight. Even though it was a no-carb diet and extremely hard for her to follow, she was still determined to stick to Dr. Now's routine to save her life.
Just overwhelmed, but I feel like Dr. Now cares, and I'm going to follow his plan. I'm going to eat healthier, and I'm going to exercise. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to get my life back, and I can't go back to doing something harmful to myself again. But this appointment took a lot out of me, so my leg is right now.
Just like that, Kelly made great progress, losing over 98 pounds in just 6 weeks, which made Dr. Now proud of her.
You lost 198 pounds over the last 6 weeks. That's good. All right, Kelly, I'm proud of you. Keep up the hard work. And let's see how we do in 1 month. And be sure to hit your goal by then. And stick with it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
But that was just the beginning, as Kelly went on with it, resulting in a weight loss of over 300 pounds in the end.
Okay, you're at 401. That's fantastic. 2 pounds from the 300. So you effectively lost over 320 pounds at this point.
Great.
That's good progress for you.
Yeah.
All right, Kelly, I'm proud of your progress, okay? All right, can you tell your ability to walk and how better it is?
Yes and no.
Kelly's journey proved one thing: determination can change everything, as her life transformed dramatically after losing weight, and she was even seen returning to her normal life and applying to college again. Her weight loss journey also got noticed by the people online, as they praised her, saying, "Kelly made huge progress, losing hundreds of pounds. So proud of her." But unfortunately, the good times quickly faded, as on February 19, 2019, she suddenly passed away from a heart attack.
Well, Kelly was battling with her heart condition for a long time. What time that happened?
At the time, nobody was there, so we don't know exactly what the time of death was, but it seems like it was a natural cause of a heart condition.
I just received a call from a medical examiner to inform me that late last night, it appears Kelly's heart gave out.
Just like how it affected Dr. Now, her sudden left a deep mark on people's hearts as they mourned together, saying, "I cried during this episode. It was indeed heartbreaking. Broke my heart watching this episode." Although Kelly died after making a huge comeback, Shawn's was even more tragic, as he wasn't even the entire reason for his tragic passing. Shawn was featured in season 4, weighing nearly 1,000 pounds. This weight was not only a problem in daily life, but also a serious threat.
I can get up, but I can only walk a few steps. So I just stay here in this bed no matter what. I can't do anything for myself anymore.
The situation was so bad for him that he couldn't complete a single task by himself and was fully dependent on others. However, even at that weight, Shawn didn't give up completely and held on to hope, which is why he wanted to give it one last shot by being admitted into Dr. Now's program. But reality hit even harder when the doctor discovered the diet he was currently following.
He following
The last calories that I was trying to get him at was approximately 2,500 a day. We were 2,500 a day, yeah.
You know what we do?
What?
Keep him at 800.
That's fine. We know what we're getting into.
However, trouble reached its peak for Shawn when the doctor tried to measure his weight, and when the number appeared, it shocked Dr. Now, who couldn't understand how Shawn was still alive, carrying so much weight.
Looks like you're 919 pounds. You may be the heaviest person alive right now. This is not a good place to be. At your weight, it's a miracle that you're alive.
But even after his doubts, Dr. Now still gave Shawn a diet plan, offering him one last chance.
I'm going to give you a diet plan, and I want you to lose at least 100 pounds over the next couple of months. If you do that, I will approve you for weight loss surgery. Let's get you back up to your mouth.
Oh, sounds good.
However, despite being warned by the doctor, his mother didn't stop and was seen feeding her son extra calories through fast food. But that's not all. She even admitted she wasn't comfortable with him following the diet.
Shawn and I did try to keep to the doctor's diet, but we didn't feel comfortable putting him on that low of a calorie diet.
The situation made Dr. Now feel helpless at one point, as he knew the end was near for Shawn.
Shawn is near right now, so something has to be done. If I send Shawn home, this will probably be the last time I see him.
And just like that, Shawn's unhealthy routine and his mom's enabling prevented him from making any progress, ultimately leading to his tragic premature death at the age of 29. His tragic life story didn't go unnoticed online, as people expressed their sadness over his saying, "One of the saddest episodes. The man lived until he was 29, yet he never truly lived a day of his life." Others also blamed his mother for his saying, "His mom should be arrested for child endangerment." But Shawn wasn't the only one to young. There are more on this list. But before we move on, a quick note. Because stories like these often remind us of how fragile health really is. Ever wonder why diets almost always fail? It's not your fault, it's how your body works. Here's the thing, most diets overload you with restrictions. You cut calories, you feel miserable, and your body goes into survival mode, slowing your metabolism and making you crave junk food even more. In fact, a study published by the International Journal of Obesity found that people who replaced 2 meals a day with nutrient-dense shakes lost about 3 times more weight in 12 weeks compared to those who just cut calories. That's exactly what the smoothie diet is built around. For 21 days, you simply swap out 2 meals a day with delicious nutrient-packed smoothies. And the results? Real people are losing 10, 15, even 20 pounds in just 3 weeks. Plus, it's backed by a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you've got nothing to lose. If you want to see how it works, check out the link in the description. Now, speaking of people who died tragically because of being overweight, Season 7's Destiny Lachey, the show's first openly transgender cast member, also passed away at a young age, breaking the hearts of viewers. Weighing over 650 pounds, she already felt like she was in her 50s, with health problems piling up all around her.
I wake up in the morning, I'm in so much pain, and I can't move right. I feel stiff.
And it's getting worse to where I can handle less and less each day. And I'm struggling to walk now.
However, the reason behind her struggles was just as tragic. She suffered from chronic depression since childhood, as she never received proper parenting from her parents.
Over the next 2 years after I was born, my mom had my 2 brothers. But after that, my father left. So I had a teenage mom who was completely on her own, trying to raise 3 kids by herself. And it ended up leading her into some bad things.
And to escape her traumatic childhood, she turned to food. hoping it would make her happy and keep her away from depression.
With that many people under one roof, there had to be a lot of food. And my favorite times were when we were eating, because all the pain of being apart from my mom and missing her would all fade away, as long as I was eating something good.
But unfortunately, things worsened for her when she lost her brother.
I was over 500 pounds at that time. But during that time, my brother Anthony had to get surgery. It was supposed to be a minor procedure, but when he came home, he developed a blood clot from it, and it caused an aneurysm that him. He ended up in my arms at home.
As this tragic incident occurred in her life, she couldn't get over the guilt of being so ignorant when it came to her brother's health issues.
I still carry a lot of guilt from that day because I feel like I could have saved them. I feel like maybe if I would have woke him up earlier, he wouldn't have passed away.
While also not wanting the same to happen to herself. And just like that, Destiny went to Dr. Now hoping to change her dying fortune.
I get the help I need today, and the only thing that really has me scared is the possibility that Dr. Now could say he doesn't think he can treat me. If that happens, it's going to be like I'm being told I'm going to.
But after reaching Dr. Now's hospital, Destiny felt even more embarrassed to step on the scale as the numbers were too high for her to handle.
I'm a little shocked. I'm glad I'm still in the 600s, but it's still a really high number. So I'm embarrassed at how bad I've let my situation get. And it's important I get the help I need today so I can change this.
However, her situation was so serious that it even made Dr. Now worried about her condition.
She's been given a chance to save her life, and if she's not going to take it seriously, then the surgery and everything we do for her will eventually fail, and whatever progress she makes will be undone. So there is nothing more we can do for her until she starts doing what she needs.
But Destiny was not willing to give up, as she was seen exercising and working hard to lose weight. Even though on the surface it didn't seem that impactful, it actually worked as she dropped significantly to 502 pounds, which finally allowed her to have surgery. And just like that, her life improved as she was seen moving more and enjoying things. Until things took a devastating turn. Even after leaving the clinic as a successful patient, Destiny didn't last long, as she struggled with depression that reportedly led her to Her tragic end also touched people online as they mourned together, with one saying, "I hope she found peace. I feel terribly sorry for her family and her close friends." However, another said, "This just breaks my heart. She was my favorite out of the entire series." Much like Destiny, Khalisa's fate was tragic, as she had made remarkable progress in her traumatic life, only for it all to be cruelly undone.
I'm just thankful I have Mindy to dry my sores and powder my folds. I'm just too big to do even basic things myself anymore. And that makes me sad because that shouldn't be my family's responsibility.
And this used to hurt her a lot, as she became completely dependent on her daughters even for simple tasks. But deep down, there was a bitter past for her that actually affected her childhood and left her depressed.
And there's been a lot of times I needed that because growing up, my father was an alcoholic. I had 4 biological siblings, and we were all terrified every night when he would start drinking and then get angry. He was a totally different person when he wasn't drunk. And he would mostly take it out on our mom. But my mom got cancer when I was 3, and she passed away.
But things got messed up completely when her mom died of cancer and she got separated from her family, only for it to end up in a disaster that no child should go through.
When she died, my dad couldn't take care of all of us. So we went into foster care, and I was sad to be separated from my siblings. But my foster family, they were a good family. It was just, they were all small. And how I was eating, that just got worse. Because when I was 8, my biological father still got to take me and my brother for visits on some weekends. Well, in the midst of another visit with him, one of my cousins, he was 19, and he molested me.
And this initial depression eventually triggered her overeating, causing her to be overweight.
I tried to tell everyone, and nobody believed me. But after that happened to me, all I cared about was eating and being left alone, so I kept gaining a lot.
However, this took a severe toll on her body in later stages in life, which even made her children very worried about her.
I'm gonna fall off the bed.
No, you're not.
I never would have thought I would have ended up here in my life.
And they ultimately ended up admitting her to Dr. Now's clinic. After realizing her difficult situation, Dr. Now gave her a routine to lose weight.
I'm gonna give you some stuff to read. And the diet I'm giving you is going to limit you to 1,200 calories a day with a focus on protein with almost no carbs in your diet. And start doing some exercise, okay?
While placing her under observation to track her progress.
I want to see you in a month to make sure you're on track on losing at least 50 pounds in that time, okay?
However, it looked like even after following the routine, she couldn't make much progress and ended up crying out for help.
I don't understand what I did wrong, because I really did.
Okay, you don't understand what you did wrong, but let's help you to understand it instead of crying and throwing a tantrum.
At one point, fans felt so bad for her, flooding the comment section with support, saying, "Hope things get better for her." But Khalisa was determined and refused to give up, changing her eating habits so she could lose weight and get approved for surgery.
So I haven't been able to do those. And I've been stuck on the couch and in bed a lot. But I'm doing great with my diet. And I've cut back to only 3 meals a day that are portioned out and focused on protein. And Mindy has been helping me with that and making them how I need.
Her effort didn't go to waste as she successfully lost weight and got approval for surgery, which worked like a miracle for her, as she lost over 115 pounds and was doing great, making Dr. Now happy as well.
Right now we have Khalisa headed in the right direction. So far she lost about 150 pounds off her body from when she started to now. So that's very positive since it's helping to relieve the strain she has had on her whole system and help avoid her body from getting to a breaking point.
However, beating obesity wasn't enough, as she later suffered from acute kidney failure and complications from her surgery, which ended her life at 41 in 2020, leaving a lasting mark on everyone who couldn't help but express their sadness, saying, "I started to cry when I heard that she died. I really was rooting for her. She was making progress, even if it was kind of slow." While Khalisa's tragic brought fans to tears, Ashley's passing hit like a bolt from the blue, leaving fans in shock they could hardly bear. Appearing in the very first season, she weighed 617 pounds, with her body struggling with even the simplest daily tasks. But her being overweight badly affected her childhood, not only physically, but also mentally, as she was often ignored even by her own mom.
You know, I felt jealous because of my sister. It just feels like my mom, she would, I guess, love her more because my sister, she's skinny and I'm fat.
I did probably show more attention to Megan than I did Ashley.
However, it wasn't fully her fault at all. Her family's genetic obesity and their habit of overeating played a big role in her life.
Both my grandpas were obese, and some of my aunts and uncles are obese too. But I can't all put it on my genes. We like food. The family likes food and we eat food.
Her story didn't go unnoticed, as her struggles moved people who felt she deserved more love and care, showing their empathy by saying, "I pray you reach your goal. Don't give up." But at one point, her life was getting worse, and the only option left for her was to undergo surgery.
They hired me because they said that I couldn't get to a kid if something was going on because of my weight. My fear is I'll be 5 years because I'm going to keep getting bigger. I had to make this decision to have the surgery.
And following her instincts, Ashley ended up going to Dr. Now's clinic for surgery to get her life back on track. However, on the surface, it seemed that the surgery had worked brilliantly for her, as she lost over 127 pounds and was finally able to do some tasks on her own. But that happiness didn't seem to last long, as even after a few years, she hadn't made much physical progress while constantly sticking to the old unhealthy eating habits that her family had maintained for years.
I want to move on with my life, but it's not easy. My family hasn't changed in what they eat. It's hard being around all these foods all the time. I can't go back to my old habits. I have to teach myself new habits.
However, She didn't give up and lost a significant amount of weight, but tragedy struck when her dad died of cancer and her life began to fall apart.
He was like my rock. He was always there, you know, in my corner. He said, "You're doing good. You got to keep it going." He said, "You work on this weight, get this off so you can get everything else done and you can start your life." You know, he was proud that I was losing the weight and getting out and doing more things. And it feels very good for me that he got to see that. My dad's helped me come this far. And now I know he'll be watching down soon.
Despite life getting bad, she kept going, losing 364 pounds and ultimately ended up making Dr. Now proud.
Actually, progress has been slow but steady. She's maintaining weight loss. I think she's overall doing good. Superb. You're doing great.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, next time I see you, I want to be 220.
Yes, sir.
And just like that, her life improved as she was finally able to handle almost every little task on her own. Her slow but consistent progress also ended up getting appreciation from the fans, saying, "I'm so glad she worked so hard for it. I hope she keeps it up." While others said, "Don't give up, Ashley. You've lost so much weight and come so far." However, there was a darker side. Her skin surgery led to recurring infections, which later turned to sepsis and pneumonia, causing her tragic at 40. Despite making so much progress, no one could believe that she would pass away at the end. The viewers expressed their sadness on the internet, mourning her passing and saying, "She's one of the few I liked. Rest in peace." While others said, 40 is too young to... How very sad.
Now, if you like my videos, please subscribe or watch my similar videos here.